back to my kitchen. It's time for another Cooking with Kandy, and today we're gonna tackle some vegan recipes. I'm kind of excited about this. I've been trying to go meatless a couple days a week, or a couple meals a week, I should say. Just because, like, it's not a thing. Let's just move on. Two of these recipes were sent to me by Erica, and I'm really excited to try one. The one we're going to try today is a one-pot yellow curry, and then there's a burrito taco bowl, and then I looked up a vegan brownie recipe. I did a poll on... Baby, please get down. I did a poll on Instagram and asked you guys if you wanted 3 savory or dinner recipes, or if you wanted 2 and a dessert. And you guys, it was a resounding dessert. So we're gonna try the brownie at the end here. But what I've got going so far is I have some rice in my rice cooker going. We're gonna chop up some onions and get this started. There's not a ton of actual ingredients, but there's a lot of spices. So we've got coconut milk, tomato sauce, a yellow and a red onion, some firm tofu, peas, and broccoli. And then for the spices, oh, and garbanzo beans or chickpeas. Now, I'm missing some of the spices, but today we've got curry powder, turmeric, garlic powder, chili powder, ground cumin, and ground ginger. So let's get started with cutting the onions. Would help if I turned the camera on. So I was just sharing my onion trick that makes it easier to cut. So I cut off the top, I leave this part on the bottom, I cut it in half, I peel it. That leaves the onion together, and so it's easier to chop. So you just go down this way, and then across. There you go. And then you've got chopped onion. Super easy. I'm going to get a little bit of coconut oil going in my pan. Get that warmed up while I finish chopping. So I want to say that I did get all of these items at my local Walmart. So these recipes are accessible to everyone. Just everyone's got a Walmart. I know that sometimes it can be hard when you live, you know, not in a bigger town to find some of these, you know, specialty items. But I assure you that everything for all 3 of these recipes I got at Walmart. I also want to say, I am not a vegan, you know, specialist. I just did some research for this video and found it interesting. I've been watching The Unnatural Vegan for a few months now, and I really like her point of view. Plus, she's local to me. She's from Portland. So if I do something wrong, if I get something wrong, you know, I do apologize in advance. Doing my best. Ooh, the onions didn't get to me till that red one. Woo! Alright, that's all the chopping there is for this recipe. So I'm going to wait for the coconut oil to heat up, and then we will saute these while we prepare everything else. Alright, so the coconut oil's warmed up. We're going to add in the onions. I'm just going to let this cook down just a little bit. I just want to get them a little bit soft. So these are starting to get a little bit translucent. Not too much. So the next instruction, chop the onions and add to a large pot with 8 ounces of tomato sauce. Cook for 7 minutes on medium. So I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to add in the tomato sauce. I just got a can of the no salt added tomato sauce. And this is supposed to cook for 7 minutes. So I'm going to stir it around, keep an eye on it, and then we'll come back. Alright, so this is what we're looking at after about 7 minutes. The tomato sauce has reduced. It's very fragrant. It smells so good. So next I'm going to add in the spices before I add in anything else. Oops. Forgot to turn off my timer. So we're going to go 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. Okay, it calls for half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, which I don't have, half a teaspoon of mustard seed, which I don't have, and a teaspoon of fenugreek powder, which I don't have. But then we're going to go 2 teaspoons of curry powder. So 2 teaspoons of curry powder. Curry powder smells so good. Alright, next is a teaspoon of turmeric. It's going to add a really beautiful color and flavor. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of ginger. You could use fresh ginger if you had it, but my store didn't have any. And then a teaspoon of chili powder. Alright, so I'm going to get these all incorporated with the onions and the tomato sauce before I add anything else. We're starting to get some really beautiful fragrance from this. So that's pretty much incorporated. So now we're going to add two cups of frozen peas. I have 12 ounces, so that's what we're going to add. I have broccoli cuts, so a 12-ounce bag of that. A can of chickpeas rinsed and drained. And a can of coconut milk. So we'll add the tofu in after this has cooked down. This says this needs to cook for about 15 minutes on medium. So let's stir this all together. I was worried this wouldn't be enough liquid, but I think the vegetables are going to, since they're in a frozen state, they're going to cook down and add some liquid. You guys will have to tell me, does this look like curry already? Alright, so I'm going to let this go for about 15 minutes on, I'm at a 4.5 on my oven, or on my stovetop, so we're going to let this go. Alright, so here we are 15 minutes later. I did turn it up to about a 5.5. I didn't think we were getting much heat through it. This is a very thick, and there's a lot in here. Alright, so the last thing we're going to add is some tofu. And I got super firm, and I just cut it up into these bite-sized pieces. This is only going to cook for about 5 minutes with the tofu in it. So we're going to incorporate that in. You could absolutely leave the tofu out, I think. I don't think you have to put it in there. You could just do a veggie curry. But I'm just following the recipe I was given. Alright, so this is going to go for about 5 minutes, and then we should be ready to eat. Alright, so here we are 5 minutes later. Everything is homogenized. I've got 2 scoops of rice in the bottom of my bowl. I'm going to work, so that's why I'm putting it in this bowl. Yes, it's 7:20 in the morning. I'm going to do, I think, 3 scoops of this. I think that's a really good hearty portion. So that's what we're looking like in the bowl. Let's give this a try. You can still hear it bubbling in the background. Alright, so I'm going to go down in, I'm going to try to get a little bit of everything, if I can. Get some peas. Piece of broccoli. The broccoli still has some bite to it. Really good though. The spices aren't coming through as much as I thought they would. Maybe it needs some salt, because really there's no salt in here at all. Let me real quick put some Himalayan pink salt in here and see if I can't. Salt always heightens flavors. I did add a little something. It definitely needs salt, but the spices are great. I think they just need to be more pronounced. The tofu's nice. I think probably as this sits, it'll get even better. So maybe when I eat it tomorrow, it'll taste even better. But I am going to throw some salt in the rest of it, put it in the fridge, and I'm going to head to work. Alright guys, I am back in the kitchen. It's time for another vegan recipe. I did make the other recipe that Erica sent me, but I lost the footage. It got corrupted with some other stuff. So, and I don't have all the ingredients for that. So we're going to make sweet potato and black bean quinoa bake. So I'm gonna get started with cutting up some sweet potatoes. I'm actually gonna peel these first. I don't like the outside of the sweet potato. So, hello. Pain in the booty. We need a total of 4 cups of cubed sweet potatoes, so I think these 2 that I have are going to be plenty. And I'm not like 100% sure on this recipe that I'm looking at because it doesn't tell you how long to cook it, but I'll read it to you guys. So it says, preheat the oven to 375. Combine all the ingredients except green onions in a 9x13 oven-proof baking dish covered with baking pan and covered with aluminum foil. I don't know what that means. But then the next direction is remove the aluminum foil and continue cooking for another 15 to 30 minutes. So it doesn't tell you how long to cook it the first time. I'm going to assume like half an hour. Okay, I'm going to wash that. And then like, I don't know, there's no oil, there's no salt. So I'm probably going to change it up a little bit. I probably don't need oil, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need salt. With everything that's, you know, nothing in here is really seasoned. So I'm going to deviate from the recipe a little bit. Ugh. I'm gonna spray my glass pan. All right. Sweet potatoes can be a pain in the butt to cut, so I try to get them into smaller pieces and then go from there. I think that's probably a good size. It says 1/2-inch cubes. Oops. These ones aren't too bad to cut. Some of them are so fibrous that they can be like cutting into a pumpkin almost. I was not a fan of sweet potatoes for the longest time. I just didn't like the texture of the potato with that sweetness. It just threw me off. But now I really like to roast them in the oven with just some olive oil and some salt and pepper. Maybe like some cumin or garlic salt. Not garlic salt, garlic powder. I don't even have garlic salt. Cutting them like this also gives you a flat surface since they're such an oddly shaped vegetable. Okay, so I'm thinking that's about 4 cups of sweet potato. Oh, that's a big ass piece. All right, we need 1 cup of frozen corn. I'm just going to throw this whole bag in. It's 12 ounces. So that's about 1.5 cups. Oops. Okay. 1 can of black beans drained and rinsed, so I'm going to do that. Meow. Meow. Okay, there's the black beans. Grab the spices I need. Okay, it calls for thyme. I don't have thyme. Apparently that garlic powder is not open. So I'm just going to sprinkle some garlic powder. Cumin. Chili powder. Kitties, what are you doing? There we go. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. The recipe calls for garlic salt. I don't have garlic salt, just powder, so that's why I'm adding some salt. Okay, cumin, thyme, don't have, corn, chili powder, veggie broth, sweet potatoes, black beans, and quinoa. Okay, so for quinoa, I've got this Trader Joe's organic tricolor quinoa. So you're gonna need a cup. Got a half cup measure here. So there's 1 and 2. Then we're gonna need 2 cups of veggie broth. Got Trader Joe's organic low sodium veggie broth. Okay, before I put that in, I'm gonna go ahead and mix all this together. Getting messy. Getting messy. Okay. Just wanted to mix it up a little bit. So then where's my measuring cup? Okay, 2 cups of the veggie broth. So there's 1 cup. And 2 cups. I'm not sure that's enough, but we're gonna follow the recipe, sort of. This just looks like slop right now, so I hope this bakes up super nice. Alright. So then we're gonna cover it in foil, put it in a 375-degree oven for half an hour, and then we'll check it. All right, we'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, we've been in for 35 minutes. 36 minutes now. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's not cooked. Those sweet potatoes aren't even softened. Okay. I wonder if you cook it for an hour. Ow. 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 Okay, this is going back in. Alright, so I'm going to add 20 more minutes or 30 more minutes. And we'll be back. Okay, it's been in for an hour now. Yes, we're softer now. Looks like most of the liquid is gone as well. So I'm going to go ahead and mix it up a little. Yeah, all the liquid's gone now. So that's good. I think it's done. Because the only reason to put it back in is to make sure all the liquid was gone. Okay, cool. Well, let's get this dished up and give it a try. Okay. You can see all the steam. Try a piece of this sweet potato. Don't put it in front of the camera, Kandy. I think I'm going to add some sriracha to it. It could use a lot more seasoning, if I'm being honest. It could use like maybe fresh garlic instead. But yeah, it could have used a lot more seasoning. Let me put some sriracha in it. Crap, is sriracha vegan? I'm not sure if sriracha is vegan. So I probably just screwed that up. But let me put a little bit in here, mix it up a little bit. I could have used more chili powder too. Yeah, that's better. Just got it on my shirt. I think the problem with this is quinoa, sweet potatoes, they're all like flavor absorbers. So you can put a lot of extra flavor in there without it getting overpowering. So yeah, there should have been a little more. Next thing we're going to do is a vegan brownie. So check that one out. Alright guys, so if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that, well, a while ago, I made a slutty brownie recipe. And what that is it's a layered thing. So it's cookie dough on the bottom, Oreos in the middle, brownie on top. And I have a recipe for vegan brownies. And I thought, why don't I try to do vegan slutty brownies? And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with the cookie dough. I have, instead of regular butter, we're gonna use vegan butter. Instead of eggs, we're gonna make a flax egg. And I have a vegan chocolate chips. So let's get going. So first things, oh, hello, focus. There we go. So first things first, we have to make 2 flax eggs. So what a flax egg is ground flaxseed and water. Simple as that. So it's, oh, we're gonna make 2, so we need 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. And we're gonna need 6 tablespoons of water. Egg for the brownie part, which needs 4 eggs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so then what you do is you just mix it up and then let it sit in the fridge for 15 minutes or so. While we're waiting on that, we can start the other stuff. Okay, so for the cookies, I'm gonna use this Earth Balance butter. Hello. Why is this not focusing now? Oh no! There we go. Why it wouldn't focus. Alright, so we need a cup of this. There is 15 ounces in here. I need a cup for each recipe, so go ahead and just go half and half. So there's 1/2. This will be for the cookie recipe. And then three-quarters of a cup of sugar. I'm actually going to use coconut sugar. because I'm almost out of regular sugar. So 1/4 cup, 2/4 cup, 3/4 cup. And then 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I think this is right. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oh, that butter's really hard. Should have done this in the stand mixer. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let the butter sit out for a little bit. We'll go to the brownies recipe. So 1 cup of vegan butter melted and cooled. So I'm gonna go ahead, put this in the microwave to melt. Okay, we'll get the sugars in here. 1 cup of granulated sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. So there's 1/2 cup. We'll just call that another 1/2 cup. So there's a cup of regular sugar. Wow, that melted very quickly. We'll let that cool for a few. There's a cup of brown sugar. So clumpy. All right, let's go ahead and mix in the melted vegan butter. Break up any clumps that are in here. There we go. Okay, then we need vanilla. So it calls for a tablespoon of vanilla. There we go. And then we're going to need to mix in the eggs. So we'll come back to this as well. I know I've got a lot going on right now. Let's see if we can't cream this butter and sugar together. I need a big fork instead of a spoon. Big heavy duty fork. You guys can't see that, but I'm just trying to cream everything together. Making a mess. A whole ass mess. I don't have a hand mixer, or I would use a hand mixer. Go back to the spoon. There we go. Ooh, my arm. Why am I so weak? All right. So then vanilla for here too. All right, so the flax egg has gotten a little bit thick, I think. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it right. It's kind of thick and gloopy. So we're going to add that in to the cookie mixture. Oh, this looks gross. Okay. That mixed up fairly well though. Alright, so then I'm going to go in with my baking soda. And some salt. I don't have regular table salt, so this will have to do. I'm just doing the Toll House recipe because I know it by heart. Cats are playing with something. Alright, then I'm going to add flour until I think it looks good. Probably going for about 2 cups or more. There's 1 half cup, 2 half cup, 3, 4, so that's 2 cups, or a little more than that. No, I didn't sift. Sorry. Alright. This is coming together. I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 325. So, that's a pretty good cookie dough, I'd say. Now I'm going to add in 9 ounces of vegan chocolate chips. I'm sorry. These are the kind I got at Walmart. Alright, that's the cookie dough part of Slutty Brownies done. So let's go back to the brownie part of the brownies. So we need the flax egg in here. Okay, 1 cup of flour. 1/2 cup and 1 cup. Alright, we're going to need a teaspoon of salt, then we're going to need 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then that's it for the brownies. So let's get this all mixed up. Oh no! Okay, got that all over. So that's fun. Let's get back in the bowl. Forget how hard it is to mix cocoa powder in. There we go. Sorry, you guys can't see it again. So there's the brownie batter. Let me... Oh, are you guys okay? Oh Lord. Dangerous cooking in my kitchen. So I'm going to spray my pan. So the first thing we do is put the cookie dough in the bottom. My kitchen's a disaster now. Sorry if you can hear me breathing. I'm right above the microphone. You just want to get this kind of spread out as best you can. It's going to want to stick to everything. I wonder, hold on. Ooh, that cookie dough's good. I'm gonna spray my hands. There we go. There. And let me wash. Then you're gonna take Oreos and layer them into the cookie dough, pushing down a little bit. Okay. All right, and the final step is pouring the brownie batter over the top. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh, the brownie batter's good too, you guys. This is gonna go in the oven. I'm gonna start it at 30 minutes and then we'll check it at 325. All right, so it cooked for 45 minutes. It's still a little bit soft on top, but I think should be. Yeah, the brownie's pretty gooey in the middle, but it's cooked on the outside, and the cookie dough seems to be cooked all the way through, so I'm gonna let it sit for a while, and then I'll cut them up, maybe in the morning. Alright guys, here is the cross section of the brownie. I'm gonna have to cut these in smaller pieces, because that's gonna be way too much. So, let me try it. Ugh. There's food on my camera. I'm gonna cut this a little more. Alright, so I've got every part. It's nice and soft. It's a lot to chew. You can tell that there's not real butter in it. Like, usually from that chocolate chip cookie you get that nice buttery flavor. But it's not bad. I'm like trying to like... It's good. It's not the same as a real Slutty brownie, but for a vegan option, it's really good. Again, you can't taste the butter. The flax gives it like, not a bad texture, but a different texture than I'm used to. But it's really good. The brownie is really, really good. Like, I would definitely eat that brownie with no problem. But we'll see what my friends say. I will leave like a little note at the end, or if some of them want to talk on camera, I will let them do that. But yeah, they're really good. I'm actually surprised that these turned out. So, yay! Alright guys, that is it for me on this vegan journey. I do have one more recipe I want to try, but I don't know if I'll have time to do it before vacation. I want to get this out before then. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to send me a recipe. It's down below. I love you guys. Bye!